Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Well, in my world, it's Monday. In your world, it's whenever you're watching this. It's gloomy and dreary here today, so I figured we would start our Monday on, we'll call it an energized foot, and we're going to talk about something that has been on my mind in the last few months, and a recent comment that I got kind of sparked the whole conversation. So we're going to dive into it today as I put my face on, hopefully fix whatever this is, and get ready for the day. So I feel like in recent history, we saw a really big swing toward like, whatever you want to call it, body positivity, body neutrality, maybe even just like self-acceptance. And I've noticed that now, over the last year or so, we've taken a really big swing back the other direction toward, honestly, everything from like skinny talk, heroin chic, all the way into like just straight up fat phobia. I've been seeing it for a while now, and I recently posted a video that sparked, honestly, like a really random comment. You know that speech that America Ferrera makes in Barbie about like women never being enough? I feel like the fitness equivalent of that is like when I post a video of myself doing chin-ups on the internet, and then people tell me it's not impressive because chin-ups are inherently easier. So then I post a video of me doing pull-ups, but I'm using a narrow grip, so once again, it's inherently easier, so it's not impressive. Then I post a video of me doing wide grip pull-ups, but I don't have as many reps because it's a lot harder, so I'm still told that it's not impressive. And then along the way, I'm called a bitch and bulky a few times. That sums it up. In case you weren't able to read that comment, let's read it together. Justina, you're a pretty strong fitness instructor. I've been observing your content for a few years now. The problem is that fitness instruction has become merely an entertainment where fitness instructors show off what they are capable of. You may dislike the facts and observations, but you can't change them. There are a lot of fat and lazy people, I'm not talking about you here, who don't want to exercise and maintain a healthy diet because they are constantly being told that they are perfect the way they are. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? I mean, I guess it kind of like starts out fine and then it just slowly descends into madness. This is a comment from another coach, by the way, which is terrifying. But to use it as a jumping off point for the larger topic of this video, let's go through like her main point at the end. So again, she says that there are a lot of fat and lazy people, I'm not talking about you here, who don't want to exercise and maintain a healthy diet because they are constantly being told that they are perfect the way that they are. Yikes. Okay, let's start at the top. There are a lot of fat and lazy people. Sure, there's a lot of thin and lazy people. There's a lot of fat and motivated people. There's a lot of thin and motivated people. We can keep putting adjectives together in sentences to try and make a correlation there. I honestly just hate these two adjectives together, fat and lazy, because it automatically puts the idea in people's head that all fat people are lazy. All fat people are unhealthy and bad, while thin people are never unhealthy and never lazy and always good. That's sarcasm, by the way. Then moving on, these fat, lazy people that she talks about who don't want to exercise or maintain a healthy diet because people tell them they're perfect the way that they are. I'm assuming that she's talking about like the body positivity / body neutrality movement. I am honestly not super well versed in either of those. They are two separate things and I'm not super well versed in them, so I'm not going to speak on them as an expert. But I would say like a very mainstream example of this as of recently is Lizzo. Well, I guess actually that's even changed recently, but we'll get to that in a second. In case you don't know, Lizzo is a pop star singer who allegedly treats her dancers really poorly, but that's a different topic. But she is a woman existing in a larger body. And for years and years and years, Lizzo, look, I don't want to put words in her mouth or take words away from her mouth because I really actually don't, maybe I should have Googled this before making a video and using her as an example. I don't really know what she has said about like her health, but I know for a fact that she has said, hey, you can be big and beautiful. Like to my extent of knowledge on Lizzo, that is how far she's gone. I don't believe she's come out and made health recommendations. I don't believe she's ever even commented on her own health, but I'm not really sure. But I remember that the bigger message was, you can be big and beautiful and love yourself. And apparently treat your dancers like shit. Okay, sorry. Allegedly. So then of course the backlash from a lot of people is, well, Lizzo's setting a bad example for young women because she's saying she's big and fat and she's fine the way that she is. But in reality, she's obviously unhealthy. Look at her body. And there's a lot to unpack there. But my big question is, why would you even be taking health advice from a pop star? Like, they're not an expert. The fuck does she know? It's like taking health advice from Joe Rogan, which people do. I guess that's where we are. Or I guess a better example would be like people taking health advice from Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't know shit. She's just thin and wealthy. Doesn't mean she's healthy. Like a Dr. Seuss this morning. Oh, baby. All right, so let's go back to the rest of the comment, which I just want to use as kind of like a larger jumping off point. We're gonna set some boundaries right here. So number one, you cannot come on my page and spew fatphobic rhetoric. Everybody, it's not allowed here. It's mean and it's hateful, and we do not do that on this page. I rarely block people, but if you, anybody, you is like the ether. If anybody comes on this page, any of my platforms, and continues time and time again to spew fatphobic rhetoric, I will block you and I will report you. I am a bitch, but I'm not mean. There's a difference. Number two, I firmly believe that if you are a coach and your message is about health, you have no reason to come at somebody for what their appearance is. Again, I'm taking out of the factor like aesthetic goals, or, you know, someone wants to lose weight or, you know, get more abdominal definition or grow a bigger butt or, you know, shoulder caps or whatever. Like, we're taking those goals out of it. Like, if you are coming at this from a place of health, which is often what I see this fat phobia guised as. It's under this very thin veil of, I'm worried for your health. No, you're not. You're uncomfortable. If you are coming at this from a place of health, someone's appearance has nothing to do with it. If you are not taking the approach of working on someone's health from the inside out, you are not an educated or ethical person, coach, practitioner, whatever. We cannot gauge what's going on internally based on what's happening externally. There is crossover there for sure, but it is not the end all be all. There are far better paths, measures of progress, health markers that are all going to be determined internally or by our habits that we are doing, not just the shape and size of our body. Because people come in all shapes and sizes. From an evolutionary standpoint, different cultures, different areas of the world, genetic predispositions, all of these things actually do have a huge part of our overall health. They set the baseline, and then our habits that we instill day to day, those are the things that kind of like, I hate using this reference because it's very gun related, but like those are the things that pull the trigger, right? Essentially what we do in life will shift that baseline one way or the other. So those are the things that I'm going to focus on as a coach. What are you doing for your health, and how can I help you improve upon that? I feel like I talk about it all the time, so I'm gonna keep this part short, but like, what are the things that we could be doing and improving upon? Are you moving throughout your day? Are you getting in strength workouts during the week? Are you eating vegetables and fiber? Are you sleeping enough? Are you able to manage your stress day to day? Because let me tell you right now, with my full fucking chest, okay? If you can commit to a year of overall consistency, and for overall consistency, we're gonna put a nice 80% on it, just to put a number on there. If you can commit to those things consistently for a year, I guarantee you, unless there is something metabolically wrong with you, you will improve your health. And ooh, look at this. Not only will you improve your health, you will more than likely have physical changes that go along with it. I prefer to think if you have a health-related goal, the outside changes are a side effect of your habits and the inside changes that you're making. Let me tell you right now, not only is it way kinder to yourself and your person, it's probably a more sustainable method of getting there. And take it from someone who was very, very thin at 2 different points in her life. One time sick up here, one time sick down here. Both of those times in my life, I've never gotten more compliments on my body, been told how healthy I look, how good I look, how beautiful I was. But both of those times were 2 of the sickest periods of my life for 2 different reasons. You cannot gauge someone's health solely on their external appearance. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of ways you can get thin. So if your goal as a coach is just to get your clients thin or get people thin, there's a lot of ways you can do that. They're not coming from a place of health though. Okay, and then finally, I wanna touch on this point that our society like glorifies and pacifies fat people. Are you joking? Number one, that is just incredibly untrue. It's giving the same energy as like,
racism doesn't exist anymore.
shut the fuck up. There's people in Congress who are around for Jim Crow laws, like, seriously. You really think that fat people don't know that there are risks associated with having more fat mass? Really? You think everyone's just totally blind to that? People who say shit like this either have zero empathy, so I think you're a sociopath, or have just like never, like have you never known a fat person? Like have you never been friends with or like had a loved one who like lives life on this floating rock in a larger body? I mean, I absolutely have and do. And from what I've seen, sure, I don't want to negate any type of personal accountability by any means, because that's always going to be a part of it. But there's also a lot of like socioeconomic factors that go into this as well. I did make an entire video breaking down just more of this concept of like pillars of deep health and the socioeconomic factors that do affect our health. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, that video is popped up right on the side here. I can only speak to in the US, but our society, based on these socioeconomic factors, which have been talked about from the CDC, as well as the World Health Organization, as well as many other leaders in actual health and public health across the world, the US is not set up for success here. I mean, we can just like start with the big one. Healthcare is not accessible to all. I'm not even talking like universal healthcare, like if you've been here before, you know I'm for that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the fact that like most people's healthcare is tied to a job. Jobs are not guaranteed. A lot of times companies will pay you or hire you like just less than full time, so they don't have to pay for your health insurance. Going through the marketplace is hell. There's currently, you know, talks of cuts on Medicaid and Medicare. The list goes on and on. But like that's the big glaring example. And then again, if you want more details, you can watch that whole video. But the point I'm trying to make is like even just taking personal accountability out of the equation, implementing all of these factors especially when you live in a society that's like quite frankly working against you in this way, is really difficult to do. So tying it all back to, I don't know, your job as a coach, my job is to, you know, figure out what you can implement. What can you do? I don't think anyone's ever going to be perfect implementing a lot of these things. But my goal as a coach is always to figure out what you can implement consistently to improve your health. So shit like this, it's not inherently helpful. It's frankly mean, and it's bullying. This is bully behavior. Oh, that was so scary. And look, while right now being a bully is seen as, I don't know, desirable, it's not a good mark of a great coach. So the lesson we've learned from this video is threefold. Number one, and most importantly, fatphobic rhetoric is not welcome on this page. I will block you. Number two, you cannot deem someone healthy or unhealthy based on what their external appearance is. And number three, it takes me longer to do my hair than I hoped, because I was hoping this would be done by the time I was done making my point. All right, we're gonna fast forward. All right, so that is the whole video. Thank you guys for getting ready with me. I think if we can take just like a big message away from this video is mind your business. What someone else's body looks like has nothing to do with you, doesn't affect you in any way. The preoccupation with other people's bodies that is happening right now across the board, you can insert many different scenarios here, is weird. Don't be weird. That's the message. If you guys have any questions or you just want to add to the discourse, I would love for you to leave it down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and I will see you all in the next one.